So, this is Buggy. Now he's gonna climb on. Oh. Yes, yes, yes. People wanted to see you. Yeah. This is my Buggy. He was born in my backyard when I was, I think, a sophomore in high school. And before winter came, me and my little brother went outside and wrestled him, his twin brother, and his sister. Yes, I know you love me. I know you love me. Yes. So don't lay on my nose, please. Don't. No. You know what? The mouse is getting unplugged because you keep. Yeah, he's my baby. Yes, I know. I know. Such a needy kitty. Ah. Are you gonna let me get my questions done? So I am on my bed. I usually sit over there. Because if I knew if I sat here, Bugsy would come here, and Zoel wanted to see Bugsy. It's uneven because it's a waterbed. Okay, I got questions now. What do you want to do first, Buggy? You want to do Zoel or Venti? Buggy. You're not helping. You're being a hindrance. That is the opposite of helping. Let's type random things on the keyboard. Get Bugsy. Sit. Lay down. Or go behind me. You want out? You made your big debut. You want out now? And Bugsy has left. Okay. I'm in my pajamas. It's like 5 a.m. here again. Brandon, don't tell me to go to bed. Because I'm not actually that sleepy at all. Okay, I'm gonna do Venti first because he seemed extremely excited in chat. People might say that I just have Pip written down. People might say Piper is a social statement because of everything going on, and no, she's not. Is she an experiment or an example of non-genders reacting to situations in life? Maybe. In To Kill a Mockingbird, which I don't know if any of you guys have been forced to read it, there is a statement that says, if to better understand somebody, take a walk in their skin. Or, take a walk in their shoes. That's what Piper is. It's my way of figuring out how these people are. I have, and this is where Ariel comes into play. I have 2 gay cousins. Well, they're married, and they have a son. He's probably going to cure cancer. So, with the gay thing, when people, that kind of bothers me. And then I grew up going to a private Lutheran school. And Ariel went there. And since, like, pre-kindergarten, we've known each other. There were some girls who for some reason decided that me and Ariel were gay. And they pestered us, and I'm not gay. Not at all. And we finally decided they want gay, we'll give them gay. So whenever these girls were around, we would hold hands, hug, be very close to each other. They wanted a show, we gave them a show. But so I kind of, with my cousin and going through that for a few years, yeah, it went on for a few years. I kind of understand what they go through a little bit. I probably really don't, and I just think I do. But this concept of being neither, it's fascinating in a way. I have a character that is, as for her sexuality, is Piper into girls or guys? I don't even know. I haven't even really thought that out. Maybe she'll like nobody. That's fine too. Why is she in the city of the Knights? Because I want to explore all the different cities of Mizahar. And I kind of made friends with you in chat, Venti, and I was like, I'll put her there. See the waterbed is like moving everything. That's why she's there. It's all thanks to you. Why does she spend so much time in the Lavender Ruins? Well, when I read it, I was like, this is the coolest place ever. It's like, I love the color purple, so that probably helped. But then, this having these woods where just spirits kind of wander around. I'm big into paranormal stuff. Yeah. So that was kind of like me putting kind of some of me into her. With I'm gonna go play to the ghosts. See what the ghosts have to think. Plus, if you're really shy and you're learning an instrument, that's playing for some ghosts probably wouldn't be that bad unless they threw something at you. Or like levitated you. Now that I think about it, that might not be a good idea. Why music? Well, I recently started listening to Lindsay Sterling, and I know Zoel is like freaking out now. And I myself was a band geek. I played clarinet, bass clarinet, and then my senior year I took up cello. So I like music a lot. It's kind of my thing. As for her everyday life, I don't know. I've decided that she's just kind of moved out on her own and is playing gigs anywhere she'll get them. So she's with Revy at the tavern. It actually figures out she's a girl pretty easily. And my character's like, hey, if you want to think I'm a guy, I'm a guy. If you want to think I'm a girl, whatever. So that's pretty much it. She's 18. It's like, oh, a young character, yay. I feel old. But yeah, she's just, coming of age, trying to figure everything out. Yeah. Waiting for Bugsy to come back in anytime. So yeah, her everyday life would probably be her either going to, I forget what it's called because I haven't threaded there, but like the area where the musicians play, probably being there, or if she can find like a bar or something that wants her to play. But the thing, if the disease I mentioned in her character sheet is real, it's very, very rare, and there is not a cure for it that is known. When you want to make a really bizarre character on Mizahar with something like that, look up diseases. Because then you have to kind of have a logical way for why they are. Yeah. Use real world happenings to your advantage. I found that out with a few characters actually. The storyteller will be like, and I'm like, but, and I'll bring up something, and then they'll be like, okay, like if it happened in the real world, why not here? Okay, and that's pretty much what Venti wanted to know, and I'm sure he's going to have lots and lots and lots of questions for me. Okay then. I'm being thrown off because I'm sitting on my bed. And because of the whole Bugsy craziness that went on for like 3 minutes. Okay, Zol. First thing that comes to mind is him all scrunched up, pretending to be a spider. Don't look at me! Don't look at me! I will never be able to get that out of my head. Never. Not that it really matters, but... In what ways are my characters like me? They basically all are me. Just kind of like if you took what was me and kind of fractured it into a bunch of pieces and then kind of distributed the pieces. That's kind of how they are. They're all parts of me. I have been diagnosed with so many different things. ADHD, bipolar, post-traumatic stress. What was the other one? Agoraphobia. I suffer from panic attacks from time to time. A lot of times I'll get myself too excited, and it's kind of funny. I found out my friend was pregnant, and I was like, oh my god, I need to lay down. So with being bipolar, my eye is all red. Good job, Bugsy. Got my allergies going. Drusilla there's the manic state and there's the depressive state. And the manic state is when you're really hyper. And you bounce off the walls for no apparent reason, and then half an hour later, you're like angry at the world. Someone I met once described it as two people who hate each other living in the same body. I don't know if I see it that way. But Drew is definitely, or originally was, the depressant. And my first character I had on that other side was the manic. So they kinda, yeah. But now I would say that Minnow would probably be the manic because she just runs around like crazy. What ways are Drew is very curious about everything and anything. If you'll teach her, she'll learn. God, it looks like I have pink eye on here. I'm like that. She's very curious in the post I'm doing with Sierra. Sierra points out a flower that has a bunch of little bugs on it, and Drew just kind of stops and watches the bugs for a little bit. Drew has a thing for hair. I do too. I like to mess with people's hair. It's actually good because my brother, he wants like these braids or something. And he was like, braid my hair. And I'm like, Robert, your hair is so short. But okay. Minnow. Minnow has my hyperness. I right now work at the school I went to. So I deal with a lot of children. A lot. And I'm quite hyper. I've broken a few things in the kitchen. The pot roaster thing wasn't my fault, really, though. But, I'm always up to something. And she is too. And Lenice, that's actually how you pronounce her name. The name comes from my middle name, Evelyn, which scares me even more, that Evelyn witch lady. And my grandmother, my late grandmother, who passed about 2 years ago, who I was really close to, Bernice. So I combined those two, because Conti names are combined, and she gardens. Her gift is she can kind of tell how fertile the soil is, and like what grows here, what grows there. So she talks to dirt. That's how she describes it. She talks to dirt. I love to garden. Just being outside, digging holes. Funny story about that when I was little. Piper, the music, the paranormal, and the I just don't care attitude she has. Those all come from me. I don't get along with half of my mom's side of the family. I've like disowned half of my aunts and cousins, which is lovely if they ever find this video. Because of my one younger cousin, who actually Drusilla's little sister is based on. And then my aunt, the mother of that cousin, is who her stepmother is based on. Yes. I hear my dad coming upstairs and he's gonna be like, why are you talking to yourself? He's talking to Bugsy. Are there any traits I've given my PCs that I wish I had? Like I said, they're kind of me. Yeah. Kinda like took them all and smushed them all together. You kinda get me. Are there any ways you wish you were more like your PCs? I wish I had Minnow's energy. And she's like the Energizer Bunny, and she keeps going and going and going and going. And I'm up for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a nap. And I'm out for like 3 hours. Probably Drusilla's perseverance. She kind of has the I don't give a attitude too. Okay, on to the next question. Because I'm just kind of staring at words. Favorite movies. I'm a huge Tim Burton fan. I'm also, in general, a huge Alice in Wonderland fan. I like scary movies. I'm kind of a horror buff. But like movies like The Heat or Tammy. Just dumb comedies I love. TV shows. I love the CSI type shows. I don't know if it's actually it's a TV show, it just isn't really on much. I like Doctor Who. I'm American, so go ahead, make fun of me all you want. There's a show on the Sci-Fi Network called Haven. I really liked that. I would recommend. I was gonna say reading it. It's not a book. I like books though too. My 5 favorite things. And why are they my favorite things? Oh, one of them just like a few minutes ago assaulted my computer. This is morning me. Normally I make these at night. And I'm more in my somewhat right mind. Why? Because Buggy's my baby. He's my furry little baby. I love that kitty. Other favorite things. You mean just like things in general or like things I own? Because that would be kind of different. Things I like and then the things I own. I'll just go with, I guess, the things I own. My eye is really bugging me now. Good job, Bugsy. I'm actually horribly allergic to cats. So why do I have 3 of them? I don't know. Let's see. If I can find. Well, the second would be my 3DS if I knew where the heck I put it. Brandon, I did get that shiny charm. No Noibats yet. Probably my computer. Right now I'm saying allergy medicine. Probably my sewing machine. Then I have all sorts of old video game consoles, and I'm a big gamer. Can they all count as one? Please? I don't know, I just have a lot of really random, weird items that I like. How can I pick 5? Sewing machine, Bugsy. Because I own his fuzzy butt. Oh, I never thought of those. I inherited some music boxes from my grandma when she died. I used to play with them a lot as a kid, so it's very sentimental value. So those would be somewhere in there too. I love how like all your questions are like, get to know Jamie! Yay! Not that interesting, I don't think. Drusilla's favorite things. Would probably be Azira, Zol, Kara, Brandon, and probably her mother's hair comb that she has. Why? Well, it's her family. And it's the only thing of her mother's she has. Um, I was a superhero. I'd be something really stupid. I really would. And then my arch nemesis would be something just as equally stupid. Like I'd turn into a cat or something, and they'd turn into a dog, and we would just like run around. Honestly, that's sort of probably what would happen. Or maybe I'd breathe underwater or something. I like to swim. Or like be like Drew and climb walls and everything. That would be fun. That'd be a great party trick. Hey, you want to see what I can do? Yeah, like I'm going to parties. Yeah, right. More animal stuffs, because as terrifying as it is, raising butterflies is pretty cool. That's Zol. For those who don't know, because I think I only talked to Zol about this, him and his butterfly issues. Back before all the drug wars in Mexico, I used to raise monarch caterpillars. You know, you'd go outside and you'd find one, and you'd get like a mason jar and you'd poke holes in the top of it and put the little caterpillar in and give it leaves, and you'd sit there and you'd watch it eat like a little typewriter. And all of a sudden it would stop and it would poop a little green like pellet. And then it would go back to eating. And you only got to have them for like a week because they cocoon and then you had to release them. So yeah, that's the butterfly thing. I have had quite the number of pets, actually. My dad had spiders when I was little. Had cats all my life. Had an iguana. Had hermit crabs. These weird little African frog things that swam underwater and they'd go up to each other and they'd go. And then one of them ate a rock and spit it back out. Yeah. I've had goldfish, parakeets. I love my parakeets, but my brother's cat is sort of a hellion, and last one I had, she knocked its cage over a few times, and that was sad. Even though me and that bird didn't get along at all. Basically, I yelled at it and it yelled at me. Yeah. Turtles. Had turtles. What else have I had? I've had so many pets. I haven't had any rabbits or anything. However, my dad and my brother went up to Minnesota because I live in Illinois. And I stayed behind with my mommy, and the neighbor lady came over. She has like a horde of like miniature pinchers, and they run everywhere and they attack us in our driveway, and I'm kind of scared of dogs actually. And I play one. I'm very picky about dogs. Like big ones scare me. The itty bitty little ones scare me. The only one that doesn't really scare me is the one that Minnow was based off of. That's my cousin's husky, who actually isn't doing too well. He's old though. He's an old dog. But she came over because one of her hellhounds cornered a baby rabbit. And she didn't know what to do with it. It was bleeding. And I've told Brandon this. My dad's best friend as a kid. I call him Uncle. You know, just that sort of uncle. His cousin owns a wildlife sanctuary and rehabilitation center here called Who Haven. And I got a direct line to him. And he's like, well, don't touch the bunny too much. And I look over and my mom has it right here and she's petting it. And I'm like, well, that's screwed. That's not gonna not happen. And it was just like the edge of its haunch, like its back legs. And it was a tiny little bunny. Itty bitty. That happened only a few years ago too. Her dogs attack more things. She'll like find a bird. Oh, the dog's got it. I'm like, well, then maybe you should control your dogs. But yeah, we had a bunny for a few days. And we found a big like shipping box and we put it in what is now my brother's room. He used to kind of sleep out in the hallway. It's like it's a hallway, but it's a room. I don't know. That's where he slept, but now he sleeps down in what was my toy room when I was a kid. So we kept it in there and we closed the door. And I was getting like all this really random stuff. My mom's like, what are you doing? And I turned like a tissue box upside down and made like a little burrow type cave thing. I had to go out and pick dandelion greens for it. And when rabbits get agitated, they thump. Like with their foot. And it was doing that, and I'm like, oh, poor bunny. Animals I don't like. I don't like earwigs. They scare me a lot. Cause when you go to kill them, and like squish them, their butts pop, and it's icky. Really, really icky. Other bugs or animals I don't like or I'm scared of. Well, can we just rule out the obvious ones, like bears and whatnot? I'm not gonna sit in a room with a bear. Any other unlogical? It's not an animal, but I am terrified of thunderstorms. Yes, I am 23 and I will hide in the basement. We had a tornado come through here one year, and that's kind of why. I'm still trying to think of TV shows and superheroes and whatnot. But it would be something really stupid for superhero. I can tell you that much. The superhero gods would not be good to me. Maybe turning into a tree. That would be fun. Just be a tree for a while. Then what would my nemesis be? Soul would be my nemesis. Oh, that's not good. I'm trying to think of animal stories too. The school I went to is attached to a church, so there's a belfry. And quite often, we would get little visitors through the belfry. Brandon's friends would get up and things in the classroom and they would thump around and everybody's like, it's a bat! And I'm like, no duh, it's a bat. What do you think it is? It's not Bigfoot. Which my dad believes is real. And that he's in cahoots with the aliens. And you may laugh and think I'm kidding, but my dad really thinks this. And he saw lights outside one time and he went running outside. Me and my brother were praying the neighbors didn't see him. You ever look at your parents and think about when they're really old and you have to take care of them, which ones are going to be the handful? It's not going to be my mom. My mom's just going to sit somewhere and fall asleep and make really weird noises like she does now. It's my dad I'm worried about. I'm going to get a call and they're going to be like, Jamie, Dan's walking down the street in his underpants again. And I'm going to have to go get my dad. He's probably going to be in his underpants. I don't even know how I got on this subject. And I'm afraid to look back and see how I did. Oh, yes. Don't ask me questions in the morning. It's almost 6 now. Man. Okay. A few hours I'll fall back asleep. I don't sleep, I nap. And you should never go to sleep, because people die in their sleep. But you never hear anybody dying in their nap. It's true. My eye is all puffy from Bugsy. It's your fault, Joel. I wanted to see the kitty. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, Renty, I'm glad that you, I guess, care that I don't care, or you don't care that I don't care. But the whole gender issue, I mean, you have 4 arms. I mean, who's the judge? I mean, really. So, I will let you know of any butterfly antics I get into, but seeing as how it is freezing here, I don't think so. I might find a cricket or something if I'm lucky. I like TV. Why can't I think of TV shows? It's the camera. And my characters are all me. And I'm allergic to my cat. Oh. No, so you wouldn't like, because even like on my door, those are just like background scrapbook pictures that have like bugs on them. And I was like, these are pretty. I'm putting them on my door. So, yeah, I've got this weird thing with bugs, and I've got, or moths especially. Like, not even butterflies. This is a box I use and keep my scrapbooking stuff in. And I was like, bugs! And there's like a moth on there and bugs in the background. It's the same thing that's back there. This is actually my late grandfather's. I was really close to my grandparents. More than I think any of the other grandchildren. So I kind of got all these things. There are pictures of family members, and I think my mom put me in frilly dresses all the time. That's why I ended up the way I am. Yes. I like bugs. It's kind of sad because I have to kill a bunch of moths in spring. I really like moths. Ozol doesn't, but I find watching them very fun, I guess. That's what I hate. Those bugs that look like ladybugs, but they're not ladybugs. And they bite. I hate those things. I got bit by one. They're mean. Like, I wasn't even doing anything to it. It bit me. It was on my dad's computer before I had my laptop, and it came up and it bit me. So what did I do? I gave it a little piece of pumpkin pie. And it ate it. Like all the pumpkin part. Oh yes, because when a bug bites you, you feed it. So with all this being said, Drew taking in Brandon is actually pretty understandable with how I am. I do like bats. They like to fly around in our backyard in the summer. I get mad when they eat fireflies though, because fireflies like me. They do. I go outside and they land on me. And then they go away. I'm just a weird person. I get along with old people, little kids, and bugs. And cats. Yeah. I should look into Who Haven and see if they do have any bats there. I know they have like giant tortoise named Bowser, a bunch of owls. They had a stork at one time, I know. And I know they have a bald eagle that they can't release. I forgot what's wrong with it, but they can't let it go. And they'll actually like teach you like real life falconry. It's kind of cool. So that's about it. I'm gonna see what you guys are actually up to now. If you guys are, if Zoel and Bran are still like duking it out in my scraps. Bran, those last 3 songs are for you. It was before all the posting about how to deal with a cut. It was like the day before. I do a lot of hand motions, but unlike Zoel, I show them. If you're gonna speak Pavi, you gotta do it on screen. And I'm going. Johnny.